Hello, everyone. This is author Debra Parmley coming to you with another Wednesday Words with Debra. And for those who are curious why I put Debra on the front of my name, it's because there is a Debra Parmley in Hawaii who sells real estate. So for places like Facebook, etc., if you're trying to buy a house or sell a house in the Hawaiian Islands, I am not your gal. Now, if you want the Debra Parmley who writes books, then you got the right gal right here. So anyway, that's why I do that. I had somebody ask me in a group on Facebook the other day why I felt the need to put author in front of my name. Well, because I don't want to have to deal with the people wanting to buy and sell houses. That's why. So, okay. It's not an ego thing. Although I'm sure it helps the algorithms because I don't really need to have her stuff come into me and she doesn't need to have my stuff come into her. But anyhow. It'd be cool if she'd put realtor in front of her name. If I was her, that's what I'd do, but whatever. So it's been 2 weeks since I did a Wednesday Words. And so I'm looking here. So the last one I did was on the 10th of July. And I was working on another change of scenery during that time. And let's see. So that one has come out. Let me make sure I get my date right. July the 16th. Another change of scenery came out on July the 16th. So, of course, I've had a lot to do to finish that and get it loaded. I was also working on another cover model corner interview. And that's been sent in. It'll come out. I'll let you all know when it comes out. One of the things I do on the side is I freelance a little bit of freelance writing, and these are cover model corner interviews are with cover models, and I've been doing these for quite a long time. I have a website that has some of the older ones on there, and I'll share that in the links on the bottom after this posts. Let's see. Okay, so those projects I worked on the weekend of the 10th through the 14th. I also took Saturday off that weekend and decided I would go swimming and I would bake a cake. And the swing part went fine, but the bake a cake part, only half of that went fine because I have a microwave oven convection oven combo here in the motorhome. And I love it and it's brand new, but I had a big learning curve there on that Saturday because I had the banana cakes in the 2 round pans, right? So first one, put it in, baked it, came out great, smelled good. Oh gosh, looks so good. Okay, no problem. Put the second one in, set the timer for 35 minutes. And I think it's just going to happily bake along like the first one did, except that it did not, because the microwave, if you do that way, the microwave then gets turned off after the first one, and when you tell it 35 minutes, it thinks it is supposed to microwave your second cake. So it microwaved my cake. So I had smoke coming out of it. I had a black hockey puck type cake, shrunk. I was like, oh my gosh. I had to turn that off, get that out, open up all the windows, throw the cake away. But the first half of the cake tasted just fine. Anyhow, I learned that if you are living in a motorhome, read your manual because your convection oven microwave combo does not work the same way as the oven in your house. So even though you may have been baking for years and years and years, your appliance might work differently. So that's never assume anything. Read the manual, right? Even if you have to skim read it. So, okay. More July stuff. After that, moving on. So I had a kind of a wait a minute. Let me get this right. Yeah, I loaded a change of scenery. Well, anyway, it's out now. I may have written the date backwards on my calendar here, but it's now out. That's the main thing. So it's only out in ebook because I want to put the first chapter of the second book in the back of the print edition and not have to reprint. So, and it's easy and quick to change an ebook and not so easy to change a print book. So I'm working on book 2 right now, and chapter 1 in particular, so that I can have it done and polished, so that I can load it into the back of Another Change of Scenery. And then once that is done, I can then publish it as print, and it'll be out in print. And then I can finish the second book, which is Down a Back Road, and it is scheduled to release on August the 31st. So I've got a deadline to meet on that, so I'm working on that right now. And let's see, what else? I've been working on my website, and I'm actually enjoying that. And I've got sections. I've decided, in looking at some other people's website, I'm pulling what I feel like is the best practices of their websites and thinking, hey, yeah, I could do that. And then other ideas for what I can do. So I have a page for readers. I have a page for writers. I have a page for librarians. I have a page for booksellers. Because there's all different kinds of readers out there with all different sorts of needs. And how can I best get them the information they need to help them? Because trying to turn it around, the website is about the author, but shouldn't it be more about the reader? I mean, you need to get your author info out there to the reader, yeah, but think about the readers. Like, that's my new focus, is to think about my readers. What do my readers need? It's one reason why I have a trifold handout that I give at book events that has my book list on it. Because after writing for 5 small presses, when the books came back to me and I put them out they had to have new covers and new ISBN numbers, my readers were getting confused because they might buy a book they had already read, which made me feel bad, because that's the last thing I want to do, is have one of my readers buying a book they already paid for and now they've got the same thing. Well, that's not good. So I came up with this trifold book list, and I've been doing that for years. This thing keeps wanting to move around. So anyhow, I had been doing that, but I hadn't really thought much about my website. How can I help my readers? So my thought process in redoing my website has been, well, if I was a librarian coming here to the website, what would I need to know? What might I want? Same with a bookseller, same with a reader, same with a writer. And so I'm trying to put things that will be helpful to all of y'all, whatever categories you find yourself in, on there. So, and I'm having fun doing my own book website, and book and author website, and not necessarily doing what everyone else is doing. Because honestly, they all start to look the same after a while. And of course, there's all the practices out there, and people that try to. Over the years, I have had. My last web designer was my let's see, my sister did my first website during the contest for I had a book out. During the American Title Contest, my wonderful sister did my book site, and then my website. Well, I didn't have a book out, so I guess it's a website, not a book site. I'm trying to think of it more as a book site, less about Debra. Anyway, so after that, I had a web designer, and the website was redone with a different program that I could not do anything with. And any little change, I had to pay her anything, adding a date, changing a cover, anything. And it started to add up. And so then eventually I had a PR company, made another website for me. And then that PR company, I've had some experiences, I'll tell you. It was during when my dad was on hospice, and I had a new book come out, and the PR company had done absolutely nothing to promote it. And I do mean nothing. That book happened to be the first version of Another Change of Scenery, A Change of Scenery, and that poor book has been through some things. And then, so of course I fired them, and then I had the woman who had been doing a good job for me before she left the company, started her company, and then I hired her to do PR, and then she turned out to be not so good, and then I had to fire her. So now we're at 1, 2, 3, 4. people handling my website. Um, then I hired another one. I believe I am person number 6, either number 6 or number 7, to be designing and handling my website. And I'm doing my own now. I am not willing to pay anyone else to do something that they may or may not finish. Hiring web people is expensive. Uh, so I'm actually using a program that helps authors make their own websites. And I've got that link on there. So anyhow, that's one of the things. It's going to have a store on it through WooCommerce. I've got everything set up except for setting up the WooCommerce store itself. I mean, it's all connected, it's ready to go, but I don't have my books and all that loaded in there. I have I think over 30. I don't know. It used to be 28. Maybe it's 33. I can't remember how many books I have out. If you go to Goodreads, there's 44 listings there, but some of those are out of print. Some of those are anthologies, and it's just a lot to keep up with. How many? And that number changes when I have a new book out anyway. So I have a lot. Let's just say a lot. Okay, so one thing I've been wanting to do. So I've done on the website, you'll find for writers, you'll find where I'm going to have my online classes, and I'm set up on Udemy for classes. And over there, I have a free class right now, which I'm on the learning curve of how to do Udemy. You have to split everything into 6 sections. So as the learning curve progresses, I have taken a 1-hour talk and split it into sections to get the learning through Udemy and how I set it up. So right now it's free over there until I get more professional videos up there. That is exactly what it is, and that is why it is free. Feedback is welcome. And it's funny because I had a criticism over there already. The person's like, "Oh, she's not. It looks like she's just filmed this somewhere else." And and I'm like, "Well, yeah, that's exactly what I've done. I thought I was pretty clear about what I'd done, but whatever." Anyway, one of the things that's been a holdup is I needed to figure out how to change my background. So I'm playing with that. I've learned how to do it in a Zoom now. So what I might do is go ahead and film the replacement videos in a Zoom and make my background different, because what I have here, and I've done this on purpose, the angle, these are the lights in my house. And lighting is an issue because I've got a variation of bright, medium, and dark going on. There's not consistency of light. And then I have to deal with, if the windows open or they're closed or the screen's down behind me, whatever. And so the light in here is an issue. Eventually I'll learn how to do that so that I can just change. But one of the things about Wednesday Words is I'm coming to you from my motorhome. I'm showing you real life when I do this, which means I'm not going to curl my hair or put makeup on or put a fancy shirt on and try to make my background perfect, because this is where I live and this is where I work. And in fact, this is the aftermath corner of having put a new book out, and that's cleaned up. Okay, that's cleaned up. I can't even use my computer stand right now because it's covered with papers and stuff. And that's not counting the things that are in my ottoman and on the floor. Anyway, I'm getting to where going to be more and more using the stand, but right now it's like I got to get my books done, and I get in a hurry. Also my newsletter, working on my newsletter. I haven't made a last for July newsletter. I put a list of the military heroes in my books, like the different branches in which book the different heroes are in, and I had never had that before. So I put that together for the 4th of July newsletter, kind of fitting, military heroes. And so now I have that in a blog section on my website, and then that will be also put on the reader's site, for just information. Another thing was career highlights on the media page. So I've been going through every calendar and every program from every other event I've ever been to, and I've made myself a calendar of events personally for me as when things happen, because I can't keep all that in my head. I've been at this for quite some time. And so I have the career highlights on the website for the media. If anybody wanted to do an interview and they want to, direct a question to any particular thing, the list is there, and I can use the list too because, like I say, I can't remember what year things happened. I know the sequence, but the years, I lose that. Let's see. So I'll be practicing with Zoom and backgrounds, and I have coming up. Let's see. On today is the 24th. Coming up this Sunday, I'm on a panel, Go Indy Now, from noon Eastern to 1:15. And let's see. Yesterday was a very big day. I was at UNC being evaluated for a neural evaluation for physical therapy. I'm finally, a year after my stroke, I am finally getting some physical therapy. I'll be going 2 times a week for 6 weeks. And I really hope that helps me immensely. So thoughts and prayers are appreciated on that always. Let's see. What else have I got? I've been taking a couple online classes. I'm trying to learn about how to, I'm trying to learn about SEO, more about SEO and keywords. And I took one this morning on Pinterest, how to promote on Pinterest. Then there was one on Instagram. And now I know how to find my demographics of who is watching me and when. And I found out that my Instagram people are responding to it at 9 a.m., at noon, and at 3 p.m. Those are the 3 times. So those should be the times when I'm posting. Little things like that can help you, because if your things get lost in the shuffle and nobody sees them, they don't do you much good. And it'll be different for everybody. So if you can learn how to go into the back end of your different social medias and figure that demographic out, that could be helpful. Let's see. I had some intuitive coaching from Kay Kennedy, author coaching, which was incredibly helpful, because I've had a little bit of difficulties since the February event where I had difficulties, which I won't go into. But I'm not going to the large book events anymore where there's like over 100 authors. It's difficult when you have a disability to attend these things. And you just don't know until you're in those shoes. And I've been in those shoes now. I don't want to put myself in those positions again. So I'll be accepting events, but only if they are accessible for me and not difficult. So on that note, I have nothing scheduled until 2025. And I have accepted an invitation to be a signing author on the Love Lit cruise, which is in February. I think it's from the 23rd to 28th. 28th, yeah. Either that or, yeah. That sounds about right. Anyway, I'll get that link and I'll share it below. Also, I'm sure I'll be talking more about that. And let's see if there's anything I've left off, because I'm almost at 20 minutes right now. It doesn't look like I need to squeeze anything more into this. Anyway, that's catching you all up with Wednesday words. I'm sure my schedule for things will change. If I end up having physical therapy on Wednesdays, it's an hour and a half drive. If that's the case, what I might start doing is filming them on Tuesday nights and then posting them on Wednesdays. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, I don't know yet. The computer went down before I could have appointments made, so I'm still waiting on a call for that. But it's all going to be good. And Every day we are alive is a beautiful day, and I am wishing you a beautiful day and a beautiful evening. Love you guys. Talk to you next time.